deal.
It's like, you know what I saw yesterday that is really rare? I saw a dude who was dressed up like a Native American who was not, in fact, a Native American. That's a risky move in this day and age.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
And when we were kids, you could be an Indian. Like, if you could play cowboys and Indians, you could be an Indian, and it'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no problem.
He's the Indian. This guy's the cowboy. Normal shit. Today, they will fucking come for you.
That day's gone.
The day's over.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm not smart enough to answer that question by a significant margin.
But some things have taken place. I mean, during the time that you were serving, from 2001 to 2019, where we're at today, I mean, there has been a significant change in outrage culture in this country, in entitlement, like things that people think that they can get offended by and not offended by, things that are important and not important. We're in the strangest time.
The beauty of that is most of the time I was serving, so I paid zero attention to any of it.
Right.
The disaster part of that is when you come off the off-ramp, out of service, and you go, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened to the environment that I left? But, I mean, I went from Santa Cruz, California, where I grew up, where it could well be the origin of outrage culture and social justice warriors, to the military, to back out of the military. So I had very different optics when it comes to perspective, where I started and then what I was seeing when I came out.
Well, that's the take that I always see from people that are in the military or have been in the military, is their understanding of what's important and not important is so much different because it's truly life and death.
Not all the time, but I think if you are exposed to that environment enough, it'll recalibrate your perspective of what's important and what's not.
Yeah. Did you ever read any Sebastian Junger?
I did.
Did you
Tribe
read
is a great book, yes.
Yeah.
I read that off your recommendation, actually.
Did it speak to you, like in terms of like your own personal experience?
It made complete sense. I probably would have used different terms in different places throughout, but the concept that he was talking about absolutely made sense. I mean, so the SEAL teams, whether or not people live up to this, an argument could be made, but one of the key tenets is, the brotherhood, which is just another way of talking about a tribe.
Yeah. Yeah. I just felt like it was really interesting to me, like that book, that one of the most moving part of it was how connected these people are when they're together and when they're at war, and what that brotherhood, that camaraderie means to them, and how they feel disconnected when they're back in regular civilization and they get depressed. It's like their life had been led at such a high vibration, intensity, so much on the line. It means so much. Everything means so much. There's so much dedication, so much commitment. And then to go back to the regular life is very, very difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think it would be unfair to say that some of the people that I served with, I probably have closer relationships than I do with my biological family. Even probably I've shared... I don't know. It's not that the things that we shared were important, but the value and our connection was so tight that honestly tighter than my definitely biological family and potentially even my wife as well too, and my own kids. And
Don't tell her that out loud.
I think she understands it. She gets it.
You're gonna get in trouble, bro.
I only get in trouble from my wife on days that end in Y, so nothing's going to be new about that. But I think she also understands that, because I certainly have struggled. I struggled quite a bit, but about the first 18 months I got out of the military. And I look back on it now and I think two pieces of it. One, I went from seeing those people that I share those experiences with on a daily basis. So there's that, everything you have in common. We talk about stuff the same. I mean, I just know the ins and outs of those people, and then I became detached from them. And then I used to have what I thought was a job that had an immense amount of purpose, and then that was gone too. So I lost a little bit of my identity and a little bit of the purpose. And at that same time, like I said, I come off that off-ramp of being in the military and I'm looking at the world. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. People are arguing about things and talking about how they're oppressed while they're standing in a Starbucks line paying for a coffee that costs more per ounce than a gallon of gasoline. Stuff that probably couldn't be, you could couch it in terms other than oppression. And none of it made sense. And it's rough when you get detached from that environment.
Well,